This is the HCD-14 Genesis concept. It's a four-door coupe concept designed with a big idea in mind. Now, when you think about the relationship most folks have with their vehicles, it's really become more of a transaction in their lives. They move from one vehicle to the next seemingly with no sense of ownership or no love lost. Well, at Hyundai, we're really out to change that. Everything about this car was designed to instill a deeper connection. We began with this idea of designing something that looked beautifully dangerous, a car or a design that had some intrigue about it. The car has classic and very desirable rear-wheel drive proportions, a very long hood, a long wheelbase, very low-slung car, and the designers, they peppered in a lot of attitude similar to that of a cat with its ears pinned back. So when you look at it from the front three-quarter and the rear three-quarter, you get that sense of that kind of an attitude. The details are expressed with equal restraint. The car doesn't want to punish the wind. It slips through it with really long, stretched, beautifully stretched panels of what I would call undisturbed sheet metal. The front of the car announces its arrival with a very proud and confident feeling. There's a very upright grille without being too uptight. It's premium without having to shout it out. We've got this wonderfully beveled headlight structure that gives kind of an alert and ready expression. And the corner air intakes are functioning aero fins that help cool the brakes and provide the encapsulation for the fog lamps. At the rear of the vehicle, you'll see some of these same details repeated in this beveled taillight, the exhaust surrounds, and the whole car is finished off the deck lid with a razor-sharp edge that kind of, we like to say, says goodbye to the wind in a very effortless way. Now, underpinning the car and surrounding the entire vehicle is this stainless steel trim panel, or trim piece, that goes all the way around the vehicle, and it's kind of like the casing on a fine timepiece, analogous to that final assembly stage where the watchmaker pieces all the mechanics together and all the precision gearing, and then with one click, snap, the whole thing is put together in a very precise way.
When we originally first approached the project, our main focus was safety. So that was the main reason for coming up with the heads-up display. So we've removed all of the buttons and accessories that you'd normally have on the center stack of most traditional cars and basically funneled everything into 2 buttons on the steering wheel. So as far as accessing the system, you could either push and hold, and you would control and pick functions with your eyes, and then you would attenuate the function with gesture control. And then all of the updates would become then on the driver's dedicated screen, and then we also have a passenger dedicated screen, so they'd be able to focus on things like surfing the net and entertainment. And there'd also be a co-pilot mode, so the driver could take functions and put those over to the passenger side as well. From the standpoint of aesthetics, we wanted to focus on having kind of an executive serenity feeling to the car. So we have kind of a driver-oriented cockpit zone, and then the center stack leans over to give the front passenger kind of more of an executive feel to kind of keep the luxury aspect of the car in line as well with the brand. Just to build the interaction between the occupant and the car, stare at the binnacle cluster until the car is ready. And then once it comes alive, when you stare at it, you'll get the tube come up. And then the starting sequence initiates. The wood is actually black walnut, and what we did was we basically just laminated planks so that in an effort to really keep it more of a sustainable process, so it's not cut out of one big monolith piece of wood. And so from the planks you get this kind of secondary read of these topographical lines that kind of travel through as kind of a water line throughout the whole entire car. And then the rest of it's accented with a kind of a copper-hued carbon fiber, and then as well as the two-tone leather with going with the copper inserts as well, instead of what you traditionally see as chrome. The premium side of the vehicle is something that we really wanted to stress for the brand, and that was the reason that we went with the leather. And as well, so we can kind of continue the color breakup from the interior and bring it down onto the floor, so you kind of really establish a feel for the volume of the interior as well. My concept for the interior, really, what I kept throwing around was actually brazen elegance. And my main inspiration image was actually Henry Rollins in a suit. Something that's like, you know, really in your face, loud and ostentatious, but at the same time with like a nice level of polish as well. So kind of like taking these two, you know, attributes that you would never normally not combine, and that was kind of helped me drive the design.